Welcome back to the program. Today, we dive deep into the world of SoftBank Hawks baseball, focusing on a challenge that could redefine the infield dynamic for years to come. We are talking about Yuki Nomura, the young gun, and his direct, explicit declaration of war against the established king of the shortstop position, Kenta Imamiya. This isn't a quiet aspiration harbored in the depths of the clubhouse. It is an open gauntlet thrown at the feet of a dynasty, a rivalry that promises to electrify the NPB landscape throughout the entire 2024 season.
Nomura's remarkable performance last year is still fresh in everyone's minds.
He was far more than just a bench player warming the pine. He was the catalyst, the spark plug who delivered crucial hits and even smashed home runs in the Japan series to help push his team forward.
He demonstrated, without a shadow of a doubt, the clutch gene required for the highest level of competition. That experience was invaluable, turning potential into tangible evidence of capability. Now, as we move into the 2024 season, Nomura has embarked on a new, demanding path for his professional fifth year, choosing to hold his first-ever solo voluntary training camp.
Sheda, this decision is heavy with symbolism and competitive intent. It marks the formal, public end of his apprenticeship and the true beginning of his campaign for the starting role.
Previously, Nomura had relied heavily on mentorship, training alongside senior players like Imamiya himself, absorbing every nuance of the professional game, learning the complex choreography of the Hawks' defense from the master.
But this year, the location is isolated and intentional. Shiga Prefecture, bordering Japan's largest lake.
Sheda took out the connections of his former corporate team manager that established the logistics, but there is also a clear strategic influence from Hawks' legacy that permeates his choice of venue.
Sheda he deliberately chose Shiga because it is the hometown of Hawks legend Nobuhiro Mazda, the iconic fighting god.
Nomura stated his intent clearly and forcefully. He is here, grinding away in the cold, to inherit the fighting spirit, the intense competitive pressure, and the legendary tenacity associated with that region.
Sheda is seeking not just physical readiness, but the mental toughness required to dismantle a decade-long dynasty.
His condition is reportedly excellent, full strength, and the preparation is thorough.
Sheda, for this pivotal fifth year, Nomura is pushing his body to the absolute limit, grinding out the stamina required to endure a grueling 143-game season and the inevitable postseason battles that follow.
He knows that consistency is the unyielding bridge between a promising flash of brilliance and a permanent, indispensable starting role. It is not enough to be dominant for a single month. He must be consistently elite for 7. The camp regimen features some distinctly unconventional training methods designed to fundamentally rewire movement patterns and ensure sustainable performance over the long haul.
Perhaps the most notable example is a javelin-like throwing drill.
This isn't about fun or showmanship. It's a technical commitment to long-term health and efficiency that separates the good players from the perennial starters.
Nomura explained that many pitchers and infielders develop bad habits that rely too much on the isolated strength of the elbow and arm, creating unnecessary strain and limiting power velocity across the diamond.
Sheda, this unique drill forces the body to rotate correctly, demanding that power be transferred from the core and hips first, ensuring that the throw is made using the entire body mass
minimizing the load on the sensitive arm.
This defocus on mechanically sound, low-strain movement is vital for minimizing injury risk and maximizing velocity and accuracy across the diamond, a sophisticated layer of preparation that signals his readiness to elevate his game defensively, matching the Gold Glove caliber of his rival.
But Nomura is not just aiming for a slight increase in defensive performance. He is targeting a complete overhaul of his profile.
He understands implicitly that to seize the starting job, merely being good is not enough. He must be dominant, particularly at the plate.
Defense may earn him consideration in the lineup card discussion, but offense will make him truly indispensable.
Shedar. His ambition is to create an offensive footprint that manager Ryoichi Adachi simply cannot afford to keep warming the bench.
He acknowledges that his long stint playing meaningful games last season, culminating in the Japan series, gave him the essential foundation he needed to compete at the highest level.
Sheda, I finally feel like I've reached the starting line, he declared, recognizing that his apprenticeship is officially over. The focus, however, remains fixed squarely on offensive superiority.
If I don't win the battle with the bat, I won't take the starting spot, Nomura stated with the conviction of a player who fully understands the cold mathematics of modern baseball roster construction.
He is setting aggressive, demanding statistical markers for himself this year: 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. A 2020 season from a starting shortstop transforms the entire dynamic of the Hawks offense, providing a power-speed combination that Kenta Imamiya, with his traditional defensive focus and established yet more modest offensive profile, simply cannot match.
Nomura knows that achieving this ambitious benchmark would make him virtually undeniable as the everyday starter, regardless of Imamiya's unparalleled glove.
He is seeking to provide an offensive boost that overwhelmingly outweighs any marginal defensive difference between the two elite players.
This brings us to the most defining psychological change of the off-season: the break from his mentor.
Last year, Nomura was an apprentice under Imamiya, learning the subtleties of the position, relying on the veteran's wisdom and guidance. This year, the master-student relationship is officially, publicly terminated.
The lines have been drawn in the dirt.
I'm finally at a starting point where I can compete with Imamiya-san for the shortstop position, Nomura explained. We are rivals now. This year, I decided I must go into battle alone.
This is not a silent aspiration whispered furtively in the clubhouse. It's a public, direct challenge to the establishment.
Nomura has clearly and unequivocally declared war on his former teacher, establishing the rivalry in his own powerful words.
Sheda, even with no flurries dusting the field during his morning workout in Shiga, Nomura spent intensive hours perfecting his defensive work at shortstop.
Sheda, this year is the most crucial of his career, a season that will truly validate whether his breakout performance was genuine or merely a fluke.
Sheda. But the pressure to prove his legitimacy is immense, and by training in the homeland of the fighting god, he embraces it fully.
Sheda, mentality leaves absolutely no room for doubt hoặc gradual progress. From day one of camp is 100%, anh ấy xác nhận. There is no gradually getting ready. I will be 100% prepared to seize the job. Và mục tiêu,
Not just to compete, but to conquer and secure the role permanently. The competition will be with Imamiya-san at shortstop, and I will win. I plan to seize the opening day starting shortstop position.
Sheda,
You can imagine Imamiya's reaction to these comments, a potent mix of professional pride và fierce, immediate competitiveness.
Sheda, Mele's clavers. While he must be pleased to see his apprentice mature into such a worthy adversary, the challenge is absolute and existential.
This level of clarity and explicit competitive fire from Nomura is exhilarating for fans and analysts alike, and it signals an intense internal struggle that will undoubtedly benefit the entire team, maximizing performance across the diamond.
The competition for shortstop will be arguably the most watched positional battle across the NPB in 2024.
Kenta Imamiya has been the bedrock, the unmoving cornerstone of the Hawks defense for over a decade, having started 13 consecutive opening days at shortstop.
Next season, he will aiming for his 14th consecutive opening day start, which would officially tie a Japan professional baseball record, a historic mark that only adds immense fuel to the competitive fire.
Nomura is not just fighting for a job, he is fighting against history itself and the pursuit of a legendary milestone.
And let us not forget the depth.
Beyond Nomura và Imamiya, there is also the quiet, formidable threat of Shuhei Kawase, who remains a solid defensive option, patiently waiting for his opportunity should either contender stumble or falter.
The depth chart for the Hawks is loaded with talent.
However, the trend established by usage is clear. Statistics show that in 2023, Yuki Nomura actually logged the most appearances at shortstop for the Hawks.
Shada, he is no longer just a hopeful contender. He is the incumbent by usage, even if Imamiya holds the established title and the defensive reputation.
The transition is already subtly underway, and Nomura now intends to accelerate it violently through sheer dominance.
Seda certainly admire Imamiya's pursuit of the record books and his continued defensive mastery. There is an undeniable electric excitement about Nomura's potential offensive ceiling.
The team's long-term growth and sustained success demand that the younger generation steps up and challenges the old guard.
This is team building in its purest, most brutal form. Two elite players, one established legend and one rising star, pushing each other to achieve maximum historic performance.
February 1st, the start of spring training, simply cannot come soon enough.
We anticipate seeing those initial defensive drills, the sheet knock, the fielding practice, turn into a fierce, electric display of talent and sheer competitive will.
The Hawks promise an exciting season, and this shortstop battle ensures fireworks from the very first day of camp. It promises to be a spectacular rivalry to follow.